No,
he's
Grovile,
he's a monkey. Like, you know the three monkeys, the fire, water,
What's
and
up,
grass?
everybody? Welcome to episode
those-
161 of the Clever and Original Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kayley Misialek.
Yeah.
Alongside me, the man with the play on Jayden Reinhart.
First off, I didn't turn my phone off. Oops. Second off, I can't remember that goddamn monkey's name.
Oh, the Pokemon
monkey,
fuck.
grass type.
Was it like from it was a starter Pokemon?
I think it
right?
was Gen 6.
Was
it a starter?
No, it's not.
No, it wasn't a starter. Like, you remember it had like a hand for a tail?
Pansage or whatever.
What?
No, that's not it. That's not what he's thinking of.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it was the evolution of that.
Simisage?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
If that's who it
Wait,
is.
there's a different monkey with a hand for a tail.
No, right. It's weird, but then there's that one. Doesn't that one have a hand for a tail, or no? Was it a leaf?
It was a leaf.
It has
I
a
think.
leaf.
Maybe it was a leaf. I didn't look that closely.
And then this guy, Nirvana guy right here, JJ Larson.
I'm not wearing that today, actually.
You're not.
Nope.
Yeah, you are. You're just hiding it.
No, I'm wearing
You're wearing
a
Miami.
tank top underneath.
What does that say, Miami?
No, it's just mana strong.
Mana strong.
Yes. Or mana.
Does that mean you put all your
you'd
points
say.
in mana, so you have low stamina and health?
Nope.
Oh.
Theoretically, I mean, all of my I guess depends how you would translate mana into like what real life attribute mana would be.
Well,
It's like energy, right? You would
I
think,
guess.
because it's like a resource
Yeah,
Well,
but like you could like
that you use. Like,
in D&D modules, instead of
Is it
magic,
carbs?
they do technology.
is it
Well,
is it glucose?
yeah,
and
probably,
glycogen?
right? Like you
Mana.
expend mana, right?
All right.
And then you can't do much after you expend it, but then you get it back, right? Like
And-
you
and-
regenerate it.
It's a little. You can't really like.
After a long rest.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like glucose and muscle glycogen, I suppose. Yeah. That's mana, I suppose. Fuck.
We've solved
What's hit points then? Like what's health? Like what is that?
the awareness of your brain, basically.
I don't know.
I feel like, because the more pain, the more blood loss.
Well,
you
like-
have, the less
And agility,
aware
we
your
know
brain
what that
until
is.
you-
It's,
I
it's
feel like-
endurance and
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
How long?
Right.
You can, yeah.
So welcome to Clever and Original Podcast, where we talk about the real life implications of video game type skills.
Exactly.
Just kidding. A little kind of.
Spoiler alert for the tutorial of the game: levels 1 through 18 blow ass.
What levels?
Levels 1 through 18 of real life suck.
Yeah. 0 through
Not.
18.
And then you have that optional DLC from
I don't know.
18 to like whatever.
16 to 18 was pretty fun.
Yeah, but that's the very you're actually like learning stuff at that point. Like
Yeah.
before that though,
Well, like, I mean,
the tutorial is real.
what is it, like 4 through 6? I didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, 1 through 5, basically all decisions are made for you.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's not very fun.
Yeah,
It's not. Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know.
being a cut.
It's
being
rough.
a self.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
the Clever and Original Podcast,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talk about comic book movie type stuff, video game type stuff, particularly in that order.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with some news. Or if we can, or we could continue referring to life as a video game. I mean,
Yeah.
so first bit of news: Netflix The Witcher series has its Geralt being played
yeah.
by Henry Cavill, who revealed it on his Instagram. He posted a thing looks like his Netflix account, like a Netflix account, with the user being Geralt of Rivia.
Yep.
And so yes, it has been confirmed that he will be playing Geralt in the Witcher series, which is 8 episodes long, based on the fantasy book series. Obviously, Witcher came to even more prominence after CD Projekt Red's The Witcher video games. So what are our thoughts on Henry Cavill playing Geralt?
Yeah. It's fine.
As far as like straight up appearance, I think once they get a bit of makeup on him, he'll look pretty damn
Oh yeah.
close.
He has the nose is there.
Yeah.
Say he has a
He's
very
got
like
the
doesn't have
stature.
sunken eyes, but that's makeup.
yeah.
The scar, makeup.
Yeah.
but he's got like
he's got
nose
the
and
general
facial
sort
hair
of.
and the-
He'll be good. He'll be
Yeah.
fine, I think.
I don't know.
He's a
I've never
big-
seen him in much else as far as like actor career.
Other
I
than
mean,
like
you know,
playing Superman.
Superman.
Yeah,
But that's like
If you've seen the latest Mission Impossible,
I
he
haven't.
was.
I should,
haven't.
though.
in
know some
I haven't
look
seen
pretty good.
any of those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
he had
seen
a
a single one.
mustache in that, and there was like a big deal
Oh yeah.
because like they had to do reshoots for Justice League, and he had a mustache that he couldn't get rid of because of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
had
wow.
to
and they had to
digitally edit it.
remove it.
Mustache out.
Yeah, it's like you can totally tell it's digitally removed. Like it doesn't look natural.
That's funny.
Um,
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched. I think as far as like basing it off the books is a smart decision too,
Mhm.
because obviously they could have went for like part of like maybe a side story of like the video game material, but that's what everyone's played. So taking that same character and
I mean,
putting
yeah,
him
I
in
think
something that people. Well, I don't know if the books are as popular as the video.
they're pretty popular.
They're popular, but
Yeah, they're pretty.
if you took like a percentage of
yeah.
people in the world who's played the game and then read the books.
I don't know. That's a good question because the books have been around for a while.
right. It's kind of.
So-
I would kind of think it's similar to like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, in that a lot of people have read it, right? But I assume more people have like watched the movie of Lord of the Rings and read the book just
Yeah.
because people don't
Yeah.
want to read books.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a
and
lot easier to watch
I
when you're
don't
playing
think I don't like the writing style of those books.
Dang, that's
That's
a very
yeah.
fair thing
I
too.
attempted to read one of
Um,
them.
And so I could see the same thing being said with
Yeah.
with CD Projekt Red's video game
Mhm.
series.
I
The
haven't
Witcher.
read. I have the first one. That was
The Witcher
yeah,
series.
but I haven't read it yet. But so I have shit for school to read. But
required reading.
mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
Lots
and
of it.
a similar
Did
thing Game of
150
Thrones
pages
too.
today. So yeah,
How many pages?
I read like 150 or
Oh,
something.
read. Okay, I was.
It was a fiction book though, and it's really fucking good. So
Cool.
there's that.
What
kinda
book is that?
It's called
In what class?
the Roundhouse, I think is what it's called. It's
Round-
for creative nonfiction,
Okay.
but it is
Wait,
fiction.
creative nonfiction in your. Okay.
We're reading fiction first, but yeah.
Sure. Totally.
It's good. It's about a rape and like the like investigation. And, well,
Okay,
like the kid,
okay.
the main character, his
Sure,
mom is
sure.
raped, and he's like
Sure.
trying to
okay.
figure out what the fuck's going on. You know?
When the way you said that, like, it's really good. It's about a rape.
And
Yeah,
then you just cut
just
off. You just
kinda-
stopped and
better.
hung there for
It's
what
like,
felt
wow.
like 5 minutes.
No,
but
it was-
actually
it was
Okay,
less
so it's
than a
about
sec.
the investigation of
it's
this
yeah,
rape
yeah.
that
it's on.
happened.
It's
Okay.
set in North.
Really?
It's set on.
Is it
on a,
fiction?
yeah, it's based on.
Oh,
Is it like any real town, or is it like?
It's set
fiction?
on. It's. I don't. They don't like outright say it in the book, but it's set on in the Turtle Mountain
Oh, okay.
Reservation area.
okay.
So that's where it's set.
Sure.
So really fucking good though. But that's kind of an aside.
And yeah,
Good book. I'd recommend it.
and the Witcher series.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's good.
Yeah. I haven't read it yet.
No,
but
neither have I.
Yeah.
I haven't even played the games, but
I played the third one. I really want to play the second one. I have it, but I have the first one too, I guess.
I hear those are a lot harder to play than like the third one.
Well, not harder because it's difficult, but harder
Yeah,
because
'cause the
the combat is so easy,
controls.
it's boring. Like as
That's-
far as the timing,
Yeah.
like if you can keep a
Tempo.
regular tempo for most songs, you can play the game and beat it.
Hmm.
I didn't even level up. I just got through the first like 3 areas and I was like, all right, I'm done. This is stupid.
Yeah, it's the first one looked kind of
Sucks 'cause
strange.
the monsters are way cool, you know.
Yeah.
But the story
Mhm.
and the place it's in. But
Yeah. So Henry Cavill,
yeah.
you're Geralt. Over back.
Geralt.
Ooh.
All right, moving on. Last week, Brie Larson had made a post on Twitter about breaking the internet. And everyone thought that was a trailer. but I guess it was more of a reference to Kim Kardashian's quote, breaking the internet photo. And so what we got instead was just a couple of photos and a synopsis. So the synopsis is: Captain Marvel sidesteps the traditional origin story template, and when it begins, Carol already has her powers. She's left her earthly life behind to join an elite Kree military team called Star Force, led by Jude Law's commander. But before long, Carol finds herself back on Earth with new questions about her past, and she's got a formidable enemy in the form of the Skrulls, the notorious Marvel baddies made all the more dangerous by their shape-shifting abilities. Ben Mendelsohn plays their leader, Talos, who spearheads a Skrull invasion of Earth. And there's a few photos of Brie Larson in the Captain Marvel suit. Also photos showcasing the Elite Squad. Looks like facing off Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy, who Lee Pace is returning to play.
Mm-hmm.
And gentleman, Hansu, playing Ronan, Korath. And then, shots of Brie Larson and Jude Law, some photos of Skrulls, the first time we see Skrulls in the MCU. Looks like coming out of the ocean in some form. And a young-looking Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury with both of his eyes. So, thoughts on the synopsis and the pictures from Captain Marvel?
Looks pretty cool. I mean, we're getting some characters we've seen before. It's kind of the young Samuel L. Jackson will be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. I am a little disappointed that it's not a trailer.
Yeah, I kind of want the trailer.
But the synopsis is interesting that they're not going to go over her origin, how she gets her powers. I mean, I guess they might do that through like flashbacks or something.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to go like I think.
Like I know they did it. Like I know it's a TV show, but like Daredevil did that, where it's like they flash back to when he was like a kid and became blind in the first place, and going through how he became Daredevil, like through flashback sequences instead of like all in one go, like every other. Also, I don't think it's that hard to say like, oh, my DNA got mixed with this alien, and now
I have these. It's like people understand the second.
Yeah.
You don't need to do a whole thing about it.
Oh, interesting that they're going to do an invasion of Earth. I mean, Skrulls are the ones to do it, since it's like always secret with them. You never know who's a Skrull, really. But yeah, photos look cool. I like how they're bringing back like Ronan the Accuser and stuff. Kind of making the universe more than just... making these characters more than just like one-offs for films, and kind of more interconnecting the universe.
Yeah.
Because like, sure, you can get the big people in all the time, but it's like makes it feel more real when these smaller characters are interacting with people who don't have anything to do with each other.
Well, I mean, in any form of media, good characters in a good world is like most of the content. You can build a story off of that, so them combining all of that.
Yeah.
It is one good world, all these good characters. Makes it a lot easier for them the further they go. So at this point, it could still be bad. It's not like it's impossible. But with the experience they've had, the world they're using, the characters that they'll be using, pretty confident it's going to be great.
Yeah, Marvel's done I see we talked about this to death pretty much.
Marvel's
done a really good job with movies. But obviously they can mess things up.
Sure, it's possible.
But
I like the synopsis.
I think this is like the first real sort of thing we've got with the Skrull and the Kree.
Yeah.
Like we got the Kree in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, but we didn't really see that much of them. We only saw Ronan and then like a clip of like some person in one scene.
Yeah, that's about all. That's
So it seems like, I don't know, I'm hopeful that we see more of these like alien races and their culture. It sounds like we are, based on the fact that they're starting out in the Kree military team, it says.
Well, with Skrulls being like able to blend in, that's a plot element that I've rarely seen fail. I've seen it in video games and it always makes it fun when you don't know who the enemy is, you know. Comic books I've read.
Kind of keeps you
movies I've
thinking.
watched.
like
Yeah,
keeps you on your
exactly.
toes, you know.
Because anyone can be it.
Right, and then it's
Solid.
like, you know, messes with your mind. Okay, that person's not who you think they are, and then guess what, they are, just because the way they...
Yeah.
Um,
But opens up like every door for oh shit moments.
right. One thing I want is that the suit, the costume for Captain Marvel, I don't know. I'm not really big on it. I don't know. To me, it reminds me of like Captain America's costume in the Avengers. I like that it's not like, you know, revealing like, you know, like Wonder Woman or like a lot of other women superheroes are.
Yeah.
But I think like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot going on this suit, but anyway, just a digression, I guess. But yeah, so Captain Marvel comes out in March. Seems to play a lot into the Infinity War Marvel movies, so we'll see how that comes out next spring. And then our final bit of comic book stuff this week. Iron Fist Season 2 came out on Friday, September 7th. I think I'm the only one who's seen anything of it so far. I've seen the first 3 episodes. Pretty interesting so far. Not as bad as the first season.
That's good.
Cool.
It's a shorter season, so I'm curious how that's gonna play out. I mean, I've only seen the first 3 episodes, but pretty good so far. Yeah, so I guess that's all you can say on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm probably gonna watch some of that tonight, like right after the podcast, because, well, if you don't already know, I work at a bar, so my hours are late in the day for like starting my shift, and I'm pretty tired to do anything but watch something. So that's one of the things on my list.
Yeah.
Knock out a few episodes or the whole thing, knowing me.
Hey.
Game of Thrones-itis, or like
Hey, I
you
mean,
watch one
I-
episode, it's like, all right, I guess I'm watching everything now.
I do that with my
Yeah.
shows. I watch them all at once. So yeah, that's that for some comic book movie type stuff. Let's go on to some video game type stuff. Xbox is now supporting Alexa on Xbox One. If you have Amazon Echo, you can use it its voice functionality to control your Xbox One.
All right.
Similar to Cortana with your Kinect on Xbox One, you don't need a Kinect anymore. You can just use Alexa to control your Xbox One.
I like that. That's a really cool idea.
I feel like it's a little surprising, obviously, because Alexa's Amazon and not Microsoft. But at the same time, out of all of the like assistants that we have nowadays on phones and whatever, I think Cortana was one of the less used ones, or at least no one ever like said her name.
Right. Well,
Ever. And Alexa, at least for me, has taken off
excuse me.
quite a bit more. So I don't know. Something about like.
I mean,
think-
Alexa,
I
like
don't know.
Echoes and Alexa functionality in
Yeah.
general is a lot more ubiquitous.
Yeah.
People actually use it.
Also, Cortana's kind of a weird name. Like, I know it's like
It's
sound well, like just like phonetically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you look at like
It's 3 syllables.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Too many. Too many.
Alexa-
Well, that actually I was gonna say
Alexa's
Alexa's
two, but
2,
Alexa's
Siri
the-
is 2,
Siri, Alexa.
Google is 2. Google. You
Like-
just say, "Hey Google," right?
Yeah, well, hey
So
Google is 3.
Well, like but you say like hey Siri or hey Alexa.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So like hey Cortana, that's 4.
Yeah. It's just
So
not,
like
it's
just way too much for an AI, which is like kind of it seems kind of it's like a dumb thing to say, but it's like it actually does matter. Like
the catchiness.
I mean, I just.
Well, it's like you're trying to make it simpler, and so like.
Do either of you like act like I know Jay, you use your Echo, right?
Man, yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you use like I don't know like the Google Assistant thing or like the.
What's your phone set up with? Like
it's the Google thing.
Mine's Google, so it has the Google voice.
Mine
thing.
is Siri. Yeah.
I don't know what mine. Mine has. What does it have?
Mine's a Google Pixel.
Bixby. So. Mine is Bixby.
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 I think you also should have.
See, even that's 2 syllables.
Yeah. I was like, what is mine? Because I never use it.
Also,
it's a Samsung thing.
You know, I was actually saying this when it came out, but they switched the Connect voice functionality to Cortana because they wanted an AI, right?
Yeah.
And you go Xbox, do this. Xbox is
never. It's never
is
Cortana.
2, is 2, which was always simpler than saying Cortana.
I mean, I feel like they could have just stuck with Xbox.
Yeah.
Google did Google.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
People already know.
Well, they felt they needed a name for everything, right?
No,
like Siri,
like
kind of Alexa or whatever.
Nobody gives a shit as long as it's easy to say.
Like, it's weird because, I guess, for example, turning your Xbox on and off. If you want to turn it on, you just say Xbox on. But to turn it off, you have to say Xbox turn off. Those are 2 things that at least I consistently, I'll be like, Xbox turn on, and I think about it for a second.
Well, like, I think...
Xbox on. If you say turn on, it doesn't turn on.
I mean, right.
And it's shit like that.
Well, it's like, so...
You never say Cortana. Cortana, fucks it up.
I was, like, looking into it, and so, like, they, the reason they did that was because, like, they wanted to make it easy for you to turn on your Xbox, right? So you just say Xbox on.
Why can't both
work? Right, I mean, it should, right?
Why
but
can't?
Like, they didn't want you to be like Xbox. Like, they don't want to have you like accidentally turn off a game, like your Xbox during the middle of a game or something. Yeah. And so they had to make you say turn off, and then yes, because you had to confirm it, right?
Yeah. You don't have to confirm it if it's on like a paused YouTube video or something. I found that out. If you just say Xbox turn off during a YouTube video, it just turns right off. It's weird.
But yeah.
There's just so many inconsistencies with their... I think Alexa is also technologically...
I will say it does...
advanced.
It is interesting that they're going like third-party route. And like they were... Back in 2013, when Xbox One came out, they were forcing Connect on everyone their own hardware.
Yeah.
And now they're like, okay, we don't... And, they could have done that with, like, VR, too, but it seems like they're going the same approach with, like, third-party stuff with, like, Oculus and Vive.
Yeah, I like that.
So, like, just bringing in third-party stuff, like, I mean, that's kind of what, Windows has always been, right? Like, Windows, I just said it, but, like, Microsoft, I should have said.
Yeah.
Like, Windows is like, okay, this is a thing, but we've got, like, a lot of third-party stuff, and we don't really care. Whereas, like, Apple makes you use their stuff or whatever. You need an Apple computer for whatever. Mm-hmm. It seems like the same. They're bringing over that concept to Xbox now.
And they took their hand way out of the Kinect. Like, when they were pushing it, and then, just, like, even, like, motion control is gone. I didn't realize that till way recently. I never, like, occurred to me. Like, the hand-waving shit, that's not there. They completely removed it.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know. It's already there. Why not keep it?
Like the problem with...
They had the
it's
UI.
Like expensive, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was part of the thing, was that Xbox was off to a really bad start because of their whole emphasis on TV and not games.
And it was $100 more.
Yeah. And now that was the thing, right? So they had to cut the Kinect in order to be more price competitive with PS4.
Well, cutting the physical Kinect was fine, but then also taking away features they had already spent the time implementing.
Well, except like the UI changed, so the motion control
Right,
would probably
like
have to be a
the
little
UI.
Was that when they lost it?
Well, like the UI used to be based around that, right? The
Yeah.
Kinect and the motion control.
Now it's not.
Now
so,
it's because people don't have it.
yeah.
They
not-
they need to make it easier to navigate
Ah.
the UI
Yeah, like
with a controller.
I have a Kinect, but I don't have it plugged in, and I'd need to buy a dongle to plug it in because Xbox One S and One X,
which they
consoles-
stopped making, by the
Yeah.
way.
neither of those have a Kinect port.
I don't know, like owning
So-
one, it feels convenient, but thinking back at like their recent history with this
Yeah.
like generation, it's really messy.
Well, like the
It was
thing
a
is that
disaster.
people, hardcore, the core audience doesn't care for that stuff.
Yeah,
I never
sure.
really used
Um,
it. You know, it's like I can just
like
touch
the
like,
Kinect
do the
is like
controller.
really cool technology. However, it's too expensive for no one to use it,
Yeah.
right? Like you're selling it to casual people, right? But they're not going to get that unless, everyone has an Xbox One, and you're not going
Mhm.
to get there unless the core
Yeah.
does it first. And, it's sort of like a domino effect.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think the Kinect was that good, so that too kind of didn't help.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah.
No.
So yeah, I would assume we'll have this on the next version of the Xbox as well.
The
Yeah.
Alexa support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think voice is the direction things are going, not like move with hands.
Oh, so
'Cause
I
you
would-
have a fucking control.
I would wonder then
Like,
if
it's
there
already
would
there.
if there would be a.
It's just,
I mean, this is just me thinking
Yeah.
out loud, but like, if there would be like a microphone like in the console the next time instead of like having a separate,
I could see that.
device.
Yeah.
just like have it like in the box itself, like front facing or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
could see
know.
that.
I feel like if motion controls were
Or on the controller. That'd be
Oh yeah,
that'd be a
that-
better
that
spot
might be
actually.
better.
That'd be,
But
yeah.
then also it might defeat the purpose because using it without is supposed to make it so easier to.
Well, I guess it
navigate
depends
without
what
a
it
control.
depends what it does.
Right,
You could
right.
have one in the controller and in
Sure, yeah,
like
yeah.
because like yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. It'll
Yeah.
get streamlined.
So yeah, some third-party support for voice navigation controls in Xbox coming in the
God.
future.
Even I'm gonna like accidentally turn my Xbox on or like fuck around with it like from my room talking to my Echo now. I'm gonna have to disable that as soon as it comes out.
Well, I think you'd have to go out of your way to connect it
Oh,
together
okay.
first. So I don't think
know,
it
maybe
just
it'd be
happens.
nice then. I could wake up and then just tell my Xbox to turn on from my room through my
Yeah.
Echo.
That seems really lazy, but you know what?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sometimes I get to the point where I walk into my room and I want to use my Xbox, but my controller is on my coffee table, which means I have to bend down to pick it up.
Oh
And so
my
I just do something else.
All right.
It's just too much work. I can't be bothered.
That's
Pinnacle of laziness.
yeah. All right. It's a thing.
Okay. Moving on from Xbox. Battlefield 5 open beta is happening right
It's happening
now.
Right now, yeah. Play it.
I know JJ's played it. I haven't, but I'm going to sometime here. So, have
Yeah,
you
it ends
played
on
it?
Tuesday,
No.
by the
No.
way.
Okay.
Ends on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
So,
Yeah. It's like a
what
10.
are your thoughts on the beta?
It's okay. Like it's not. There's a lot of things I kind of have problems with, like, the like some of the shooting to me felt a little clunky at some points. Like when I was playing the assault class, for example, like it felt like my weapon had like a more recoil than I expected. Everything seemed a lot heavier than I like it felt heavier than I expected. Like just using it, and it was still fun. Like it was Battlefield, so it's like same sort of stuff with that. And but I think and like the operations mode I played, because like they have like a new operations mode that does like a bunch of different stuff, and it was a little confusing at first because like it wasn't clearly it didn't seem to be clearly stated that you have to pick up the explosives to bring them to these objectives to detonate them. Because it kept popping this thing up on the top of my screen that says like explosives picked up. All that means is someone on your team picked up explosives, not that you picked up explosives. So when I saw that, I assumed I had explosives. So I went to the objective and I was like, so like what, like it's like none of the items I have do anything here. So like,
you know, hopefully that like it's a beta, right? So hopefully that's like fixed. But also, like, it feels more like just a stress test of the servers than any actual beta.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy the game at some point. I'm not going to buy it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, I don't know. It just didn't, I didn't enjoy it as much. Like, playing the beta, I was like, well, I'd just rather play Battlefield 1 because I think that's a better experience than, like, what I was playing right there. But they'll probably get it ironed out within the first, like, three to 6 months of the game being out, you know. It's generally how those things work.
So patience.
Yeah, I mean, it'll, you know, a bit better in the future, but right now I was a little on it.
Okay. Yeah, and then one other thing came out also on Friday, September 7th. Another Marvel bit of media. Spider-Man on PS4.
Spider-Man.
And I believe I am the only one who has played it.
Yes,
as well.
I have not.
So I got it. It's a lot of fun.
I've heard good things.
Open world. You're swinging around as Spider-Man. The premise is that you've been Spider-Man for a few years now. I think 8 years. You're 23 years old, and anyway, working with a cop. And so, like, swinging is fun, like, web slinging. There's, like, skill trees. And, like, I maxed out web slinging before I did anything else, like, any combat related. But one issue I have with it is, like, I don't know, it feels like the same stuff with, like, Uncharted and other, like, PS4 story-based games is, like, well... that scratch that actually no, is that when you're in like a story scene, right? When you walk really slow, right? I mean, that's just like I don't understand that with like video games, and like everyone walks so slow and like your character does, and so you're like running anyway. That's a minor thing, but one of the bigger problems was like the transfer from like story stuff to like the open world stuff is like a little jarring, because like it's so different. Even though like fighting is the same and whatnot, but it's just like when they get into story stuff, when you're like Peter Parker is like a lot different from like when you're Spider-Man exploring New York. And so I guess that's an issue I have. But other than that, like the combat's fun, swinging is fun. There's a lot of side quests, and random crime happening on the streets. I think it's worth the buy if you have a PS4. So yeah,
I want to get it. I mean, I'm not going to get it right now, but I'm going to get it later when I have time to play these games.
Right. So yeah, that's my opinion on PS4's Spider-Man.
The last Spider-Man I played was for PS2 and featured Doc Ock and one of those symbiotes combining Carnage, I think. Into like this Doc Ock Carnage fucking monstrosity.
So somewhat spoiler alert, but not too much. In Spider-Man for PS4, Otto Octavius is like your mentor, at least at the beginning. I haven't gotten that far in the game. So that's cool.
That's kind of how it works in the general story, though, too, right? Like
Right.
the comics.
Yeah.
He's like helping Spider-Man,
Or
the friends
Peter,
in some
you know.
matter or whatever,
Mhm.
and then he gets all evil because people try to shut him down.
Yeah.
It's like, no, my arms are great. And
Right.
he kills people with them. Like, see, look,
Exactly.
they kill you. Fuck you, they're great.
So that does it for like the news type stuff this week. Let's get on to the juice. So I've been asking, like, I'm looking for TV shows to watch. I've run out of shows. I mean, I'm watching Iron Fist season 2, but once I'm done with that, I'm gonna need another show. So what are some shows that we would recommend to people like me, or just people in general who listen to this show?
So yeah, you got some.
Shit.
Go,
Yeah,
go.
I'll do
Okay.
one. I'll let you go.
Okay.
Because the first one that comes to my mind is one that was
Okay.
recommended me 2 weeks ago by my boss. Sling Blade.
I heard about this.
Yes, it's quick without spoiling anything. Synopsis. They cover this immediately as soon as the movie starts. He's brought into a room and he's like doing like that story, like he tells you his past basically via story to another character. He has mental illness. I don't know if he's insane. I guess kind of. But as a kid, he's abused as a child, and he ends up killing his mom with what he calls a sling blade. Kaiser blade is what it actually is. If you know, it's like a long stick.
Yeah.
And almost like a scimitar kind of blade on the end of it.
Mhm.
And then he is let out at the beginning of the movie for good behavior and not seeming like he's insane.
Mhm.
And that's, the synopsis at the beginning of it. It's really, I don't know, it's not so actiony. And there's not actually a whole lot of blood for it being R-rated. But there's plenty of violence and intrigue and interaction, I guess. Good character development. So
Yeah.
I thought it was really... after that movie, actually, I immediately watched Deadpool 2. I just had it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch another movie. And Deadpool 2 is good, mind you, but it didn't feel as good. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, Sling Blade, let's say, was the 10.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 felt like a 6.
Yeah. Like
After
kind of
that, I was
that.
like, Jesus, the character was so good in Sling Blade, and now I'm watching this, just fine. It's an okay movie, but to give you an idea how good Sling Blade, it's really good. Definitely recommend it.
I need to watch that. Sounds like my kind of film. So,
Yeah.
I would recommend for like a movie if you haven't seen it, Unforgiven. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
It is it's a post-western. I'll call it that. It's a 90s movie starring Clint Eastwood and I'm trying to remember, Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
And basically Clint Eastwood's like, used to be like a gunslinger or whatever. Now he's like an old man living on like a farm with his 2 kids. His wife died like years ago, and she's the one who like got him out of that life or whatever.
Sure.
And his farm's like failing, all of his pigs are sick, and like this kid shows up, and it's like, hey, there's this bounty, and so he's he goes. It's
That's
the movie. It's really fucked up. Like it's like imagine it's like a western, but like everything's like sad and nothing is like nothing really ends well for anybody, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not, no one's really being a hero. It's just like,
Okay. It's just
it's
things
just like,
happen.
it's just
shit
like
goes
people
down.
doing stuff, people like
Kind of out for
being
themselves.
yeah, people being people, a lot of that stuff.
Damn.
The end is really good. Like the end, I watched it with Trevor.
Yeah.
And we just drank we had whiskey and we drank that during the movie. Very good. Like that was a really good idea. Trevor had seen the movie already, so it was a very good idea. But that for TV shows, I would recommend True Detective season 1. It's an HBO thing. If you find someone who has
Is
HBO,
that like real stories or whatever, right?
it's it's not
Oh.
real. It's so what True Detective is a show. Is each season is a contained story. and it's different people, completely different. Like the first season stars Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson as it's two like detectives. They're in like set in the 90s and in the 2000s and in the 2010s.
Huh.
So it's like three different. It's all about the same case that they're going after, and like it's real dark. A lot of horrible shit happening. A lot of like Matthew McConaughey's character is like goes off on all these like super like nihilistic sort of monologues all the time, and really good. Season 2 is not as good, but it's a different story, different actors. So it's like basically like a different show. Season 3 trailer just came out actually. It's starring I'm forgetting his name. He plays Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's the detective.
Okay.
Yeah, in that.
Cool.
But yeah, so there's that. Westworld. That show's pretty good. Also on HBO. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's on something else. Those
I've got some recommendations. So like one show I've been really into, like if we're sticking with the theme of like story driven stuff, is Sense8 on Netflix. It's made by the Wachowskis and Michael Straczynski.
They were the ones who directed.
They did The Matrix.
They did The Matrix, and then
they also did, I think, what's it called? Is it Atlas Shrugged or something? I don't.
No, Atlas Shrugged is an Ayn Rand.
I think it's like a movie. Though.
Oh, did they make?
They might have. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But they direct or created and directed Sense8 with J. Michael Straczynski, who is best known for writing comics, making Babylon 5.
He did do that.
And it's really good. So it's based like these 8 people from around the world, and like one's in Korea, one's in I think South Africa. Somewhere in Africa. I'm not entirely sure where exactly off the top of my head. Germany, England, India, and then like Mexico, and then like there's 2 Americans. And they like don't know each other at all, and they've got this like psychological link to each other. And so they can like see and feel what each other are seeing and feeling. And it's really good, really well edited, really cool sci-fi. Highly recommend it. It became one of my favorite shows after just finding out about it. So there's that. I guess the TV show, off the top of my head. If you want just something like that's like you can just watch one off at a time, like Queer Eye's good.
I've been meaning to watch that. I've seen like one episode, peripherally. But. Yeah,
it's not like story driven. Obviously, it's like each episode is its own thing, and set format of like making over men, which is really needed because a lot of men don't know how to dress or how to take care of themselves.
My dad, my stepdad once left the house with a Hawaiian shirt and plaid shorts.
Oh my fucking!
Open-toed sandals with white socks.
Who let him do that?
That's like ultimate dad uniform.
Who let him do that?
My mom.
Okay, like that
needs. Then we bought him new clothes. Though.
That needs. Okay, yeah. All right.
Immediately went out and like.
That needs to. That's wow. That's rough.
He doesn't do it anymore.
Well, that's good.
I told him, and he was like, "Oh, I don't do that." I was like, "Nah, don't do that."
Yeah, rough. Trying to think. Oh, I would. There's a show on Netflix called Explained.
Oh
That's
yeah,
really
I
good.
watched that. Yeah, they come out
it's
with
called Explained.
weekly.
It's every week. It's basically like 15, 20 minutes of them just like information about something. They did just a lot, just anything really. Like they did an episode about esports, actually, for example.
Yeah.
They did an episode about like immortality. They did one about like weed. They did,
One of my favorites was cricket, just because it's like
of what?
cricket.
Cricket?
Yeah, like the
the sport. Okay, yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah. I knew a guy who played cricket.
Yeah.
I remember watching something. This might have been explained. If not, it was something of a very similar format. And I can't remember the drug they covered either, but it was a drug that lets you basically just like make people do things.
Oh, it was a Vice video.
Vice,
it was an old Vice video from like 2012 or something.
I can't
it's
remember
on
what the
YouTube.
drug was either. It's like some flower.
Yeah, you get it from like a tree.
And you like blow it in someone's face, and
they're like super suggestive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, movie. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this, but Full Metal Jacket.
I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to.
I recommend it. It's a really great war film.
I know there's a lot of references to it in various video games I play.
Yeah.
But I have not actually seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Explained is also really good.
Yeah, Explained. I like it quite. It's just like kind of a quick little thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like 30 minutes each or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few shows and movies for your list if you're looking for something to watch.
Yeah.
All right. I think that does it for us on this episode of the Clever and Original Podcast. Jay, if people wanted to find you on the social media sphere, where could they do that?
If you want to see what kind of things I'm watching or suggest things that I'm not watching, come find me on Twitter at Jayden Reinhart.
And JJ, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitters at JLarson107.
And you can find me at K Misialek, that's Kay Misialek on Twitter. And you can find us all at Clever_Original on Twitter. And as you are right now, listen to us each and every week on SoundCloud, iTunes, and other podcast services. And we'll catch you next week, guys, on episode 162.
Yeet.
Woo!